The way to good health has always been free, and nature has always provided us with gifts for preventing, alleviating, and curing disease. And though our world is moving ever faster, advancing forward technologically, so many of us are looking backwards to the wisdom of ancient civilizations for the answers to good health. Nature's products that are available to all, that is literally at our feet, can save us money, save our lives, and empower us to take control and responsibility for our own health and to make us self-sufficient. I'm Audrey Hope. Please join me on this next episode of Real Women for utilizing nature's free medicine. My special guest is Beryl Nozedar, who will show us how to embrace the world's wonderful bounty of free and effective medicinal gifts. Okay, you talk a lot about, in your book, about women's problems.
Mm-hmm.
You have had how many children?
I have had 2.
You've had 2 children, and you said you didn't have any pain during childbirth.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God, that's hard to believe.
My first child I had a lot of pain with, and it really put me off having another one. And so I started studying, and I looked at a situation where African or Indian women go and have a baby, they'll go and have a baby in the field, and they'll come straight back out again and get on with the work.
Oh, my.
And so I looked at the way that Western women live, and the situation is that we sit on chairs. African women sit on small chairs too. So there's a lot to do with our lifestyle. And I started to learn yoga. Mm-hmm. And I learned to relax, and I also learned how to do exercises, which made me more flexible. And so my daughter was born with no pain at all. I felt absolutely marvelous. I didn't really feel like going out into the field to work after that.
I don't think so.
But I felt great. And I thought, why do women need to suffer pain? And you really need to prepare before you start thinking about conceiving your body and get your body healthy. And there's a lot of fear involved with pregnancy and birth. And similar to going through menopause, I just flew through menopause. I didn't have a hot flash or anything. But there's a situation which causes a lot of menopausal problems, and that's the fact that we stress our adrenals by eating too much sugar and also by stress. Mm-hmm. And it's the adrenals which assist us going through menopause, because they produce estrogen when the ovaries stop producing estrogen. But if they've been compromised a lot during our life, then we need to look at strengthening them before we're going to menopause, which can be done by the natural estrogen of the red clover or of the licorice root.
Mm-hmm. So we can eat licorice?
You can eat not the sweetie licorice, the stick licorice.
I see.
And that helps your adrenals. It also stops sugar craving, and also the craving for tobacco and other addictive things like that.
And you say if we take red raspberry tea?
No, red clover.
Red clover tea 3 months before we give birth. Is that true? We will have
red raspberry.
Red raspberry tea.
Yes.
It will help us.
Mm-hmm.
Fascinating.
Because it brings you a healthier womb. Basically with childbirth, because we sit a lot, the pelvic floor doesn't get elastic, and so therefore this is why it's difficult for a little Jiminy Cricket to come out. So, we need to look at squatting, sitting cross-legged.
Right. Let's make something. Okay. You brought, let's make some
tincture.
Tincture. Okay. There are many. First of all, you say in your book too, there are many ways to use all these herbs. Mm-hmm. We can make a lotion. We can make an oil. We can make a tincture. And so we're going to make, as you said, what?
A tincture.
A tincture. Okay. Show us how.
When people realize how easy it is to make your own medicines, I think we'll have a lot of jars on our kitchen window. This is echinacea, which most people know echinacea. This is the echinacea root.
You're echinacea crazy.
I'm
in
echinacea
this world.
crazy.
We are echinacea crazy.
But this is the best echinacea you can get. I always use the echinacea angustifolia, and I've had the most wonderful results, even with breasts and lumps in women's breast going down in 3 days after taking this.
Really?
It's just
so we can help
powerful.
breast cancer with all of these things too.
Yes, you can. The tincture can be made with either vodka or it can be made by apple cider vinegar. It depends on your preference. It can be made with wine. I always use vodka. And here we have an ounce of echinacea root, and all we do is pour on the vodka, cap it, put your little top on there, and then you put that in the sun for 2 weeks.
You put this in the sun.
For 2 weeks.
Just like this.
Mm-hmm. And you shake it daily.
You shake it just like this, right? Okay.
And what's so wonderful, you can actually see all the active ingredients coming out of the echinacea.
Well, I know when I went to your place, I saw your windowsill. It was quite decorative.
Precisely. And then at the end of 2 weeks, you strain it. And you can strain it through muslin or a really fine strainer. And then in a dark bottle.
Well, this is Beryl's book, Beryl's Herbal Bliss. And in it you show us the many different ways.
Mm-hmm.
See, I don't have a green thumb, so I definitely need 1, 2, 3 steps. I mean, I have to be, I grew up in New York. Okay, and then you have this, these recipe cards, which is also available. And Beryl, I wanted to talk about your life now. I mean, you live in a mud hut in Africa. This is a world so different from where you are today in America. Tell us about it.
Well, I went to Africa 2 years ago on a spiritual mission, and I actually fell in love. And went back there several times and lived with the Africans. And it's just so delightful. The way of life there is profound. We don't have any electricity and we don't have running water. You have a well. But it's so simple. And I fell in love with the Africans too. And what I found quite interesting, it's a little bit like in most other cultures that you have the witch doctor, the medicine doctor, whatever, who keeps his secrets. And so a lot of the people there would come to me with their problems. And so I would help them. And in Africa there's a lot of infant mortality. This is in the north of Africa where I am. It's the poorest country, or one of the poorest countries in the world. But the spirit and the spirituality of the people is absolutely amazing. It's really a community where people share. So I fell in love also with the people of Africa. So I'm shortly going back there to work with them. And I want to teach the mothers how to work with carrots. You know, these are things that are readily available. Carrot, potato, the lemon, the garlic. Because
well, it doesn't cost any money, Beryl.
It doesn't cost any money. And I'm also learning about the plants that grow there too, and the trees. In the rainy season there are a lot of plants, but in the dry season there aren't. And this is why a tincture comes in so handy, because when the herbs are above the ground, you pick them, make them into tinctures. Now this tincture will last as long as you don't take it, forever.
Oh, wow.
So the shelf life of it is indefinite. And with this bottle of remedy here, because you can make a tincture of anything. This is actually then further diluted, so that you can have enough medicine with just that teeny little bit for years.
That's one of your goals, though, to help feed the poor.
Well,
Beryl.
One of the things that I realized is that the poor are needy. They need to know the quickest way that they can get medicines. And there are so many things that are in the kitchen cupboard that we use, the herbs, especially in Africa. There's a lot of herbs there, a lot of spices. And things like cinnamon. I mean, cinnamon is great for any dysentery, and there's a lot of dysentery that's in Africa. Also ginger for vomiting. And going back to our dear garlic again, when I travelled in Egypt some years ago, I was there with 12 people. Everybody went down with the Montezuma's Revenge. I didn't, because I took garlic every day. It's possibly the bugs and all the people didn't get anywhere near me. But the knowledge of this is absolutely fantastic, and it costs pennies. The lemon, The lemon alkalizes your body too. You can use it for bee stings. And this darling cabbage here, this is used for ulcers. It can be used internally for stomach ulcers, or it can be used...
This can be used for ulcers.
For ulcers too.
Fabulous. My God, this information is so valuable. Beryl, you also work with creating miracles.
Mm-hmm.
What is your philosophy on that? I mean, how can we create abundance and miracles in our lives?
I believe that a lot of messages have been taught us from the Bible years ago. Think of these things, they are already yours, and it shall be so. And we don't realize our power. And what happens with us, in some ways, we create the negative things. It's going to be a bad day today. I knew this was going to happen. I'll never find a lover. I'll never do this. And so we're creating our reality by the power of the thoughts and the spoken word. And positive thinking is just so profound, especially when you're in tune with your higher self, because then you will create the things that are only good for you. So I've done a lot of traveling, sometimes with only $2 in my purse, because some people tend to think of abundance and manifest being in the form of money. It isn't. It's opportunity. It's the people that you meet. And when you're centered, you will meet people that you can be of assistance to, and they can be of assistance to you. The synergy of life is absolutely amazing.
You have to be open to the miracles.
You have to be lacking of fear.
Miracle-minded. And you teach this in workshops.
The main thing is that we have fear, especially with money. Money has so much power over us, because when we're without it, we're in fear. And yet, when you leave yourself open, you will draw exactly what you require. One particular year, I thought I'd like to go to Peru, I'd like to go to Mexico, and I'd like to go to Africa. And I was given free tickets to go to these places. But not only did I do that, I travelled through Morocco, and that was my first journey into Africa. And there are times when maybe I don't have a couple of dollars and somebody will say, I could just do with a massage. And I'll find out that within, half an hour, I've made a few dollars to get on the next leg of my journey.
Oh, Beryl.
So I feel that if you're working in love and breaking through the fear barriers, that you manifest more easily.
Beryl, thank you so much for being such a role model, for being someone who lives the philosophy of their life. And thank you, again, for coming so far from Africa to be on my show. It means
I'm
so
Audrey
much
Hope.
to me. This is Real Women. We're dedicated to life-altering perspectives that can transform our world. Thank you so much. And again, this is Beryl's book, Beryl's Herbal Bliss. Fabulous. Thank you, Beryl.
Thank you. You darling.
For the answers you still haven't found inside the arms of silence, free to dance around as you hold on to